Hey, I'm Parker McKay, and I'm hanging out with Rob on Front Row Live.
New single is out now, and I mean, from what I hear, it's all over the place.
Yeah.
Everybody's posting it. Everybody's listening to it. Let's talk about this new single.
Yes. So it came out, it's been like 3 weeks now, I think, and this is the first iteration of the new Parker McKay. Yeah, I put out some music a while ago, and then I sort of went through a rebuilding period where I really wanted to lean into what I really loved and was super authentic to me, and that's this first song out of the gate is really that.
Right.
So yeah, I'm super pumped about it. Yeah.
What was it about this track that you wanted this to be the first listen of the new Parker?
Yeah. Well, I wanted something that had a really good energy to it, obviously, that made people happy. There was a lot of choices, but this is the one. It's just a jam, but it's not without substance, I don't think. So I don't know, it's just very, very me. It has this kind of like 80s thing going on with it, and it's sort of like chick pop mixed with country, and it's just sort of the best of the best of all of my worlds, I guess. Yeah.
So it's been a couple, like 2016 was the debut album.
Yep.
So from then till now to now, like, how do you feel like your evolution kind of like? How do you feel your music kind of evolved over the years? And did you kind of have to rediscover your sound? Were you trying to figure out what you wanted your sound to be?
Yeah, I sort of came to Nashville. I moved to Nashville 4 years ago, and it was when you first get there, you're more susceptible to being put in the box. And I was green, and I was new to the scene, and I really wanted to take a step back and say, if I'm going to do this for the rest of my life, which is what I've always wanted to do, what is it that I really want to do? What's going to make me happy? What's the music that I want to hear? And what am I doing to please other people? And I stopped doing those things, and I started doing the things that I really cared about. And then it all just kind of fell out of me and made sense, because once it's really authentic to you, you don't have to try as hard anymore, Obviously I try hard, but it's it makes so much more sense to me now. I'm not searching all the time. It's just coming from a place really deep in my center. Yeah.
Now, as far as moving to Nashville, like, how do you feel that kind of helped out your writing? How do you feel like the writing kind of changed over the years? Like, did other artists kind of help you? Did other producers kind of help you, like, figure out how to write the way that you do today?
Yeah, I mean, so I was living in New York City, and it's just not, the music scene there, unfortunately, has died a lot, and people have moved away. And so just by virtue of writing 5 days a week, or, writing 6 times a week, and writing with all different people all the time, working your muscle like crazy, writing with people from all different genres and with all different skill sets, it's like going to school every day, and you're just working with new energy all the time, and it's never boring. And so that really helped me. You just learn, you just like kind of hit the ground running, and things start clicking with you, and just because you're doing it all the time.
Right.
And you're surrounded by it constantly. So, and then you're inspired by people too. There's amazing artists doing all different kinds of things all over Nashville, and you want to be a part of that magic, and so you push yourself. Yeah.
Now, this far, when you were writing this track in particular, what kind of challenges did you face, whether it was in the writing process or whether it was in the studio? Was there a producer involved? Did you do this all yourself? Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if you said you did.
No, I did it with a pop writer producer named Michael Miller. And struggles, I don't know, it's so cheesy to say, but sometimes it does just kind of fall out of you. And this was it was our first write together, I think. And I don't know what I had been listening to that day. It was something fun, I guess, maybe like Haim or something to that effect. And I just wanted to write something that had like a really cool, like, driving synth, and was really honest. And I don't know about struggles. Second verse is always hard. But this
hard to write or hard to remember?
Both sometimes. No, this was definitely one of the easier ones for me. Yeah, I don't think we really had to go back to the drawing board too many times, and that's also what made it really clear that it was supposed to be the first single. It just was kind of meant to exist. Yeah. I think. Yeah.
Now, did you write tons of other music before you said this is the one I want to release, or did you just jump in writing this track?
No, I had like hundreds of songs, not all that I wanted to pick from, but I had other stuff, but I had, you kind of wait for that moment to be like, this is the one I want to start this next part of the journey with. And it was very clear that day. I think that day I knew that was going to be the one. You really know when you're sitting in traffic and it's 45 minutes home when it shouldn't be. But And then
Welcome to LA.
No, this is in Nashville.
This is in Nashville. How is that such thing? How does that happen?
I live, how far do I live? 10 miles from Midtown, which is where I go to work every day. So on a normal day, it takes me 17 minutes.
Okay.
That's very specific, but that's what maps, Google Maps says. Oh, hey, I have just.
There we go.
pure
We've
nature
got,
in my hair.
yeah. My props in my studio.
It
I'm
takes
sorry.
like 55 minutes for me to get home sometimes. But point being is when I'm driving home and I listen to a song on repeat the whole way home, that's when you know.
That's how you.
Yeah.
That's how you do your thing.
That's how you know. Yeah. I just had one of those days the other day, and it's a good feeling. Yeah.
So, take me back to 2016 Parker. Who is that Parker? What kind of artist were you then? What was your mindset when you were creating music then?
I mean, I still am really proud of what I did then. I just was I was so new to writing every day, and I was so new to the country market, and I just come from New York where I was doing just something completely different, and it was more, I don't know, it was more organic sonically. I was kind of afraid to take the more poppy risks that I wanted to take, and it was more like Sheryl Crow, kind of that sort of thing, and I really loved it at the time, but I don't know, I just think now it's just ballsier, and I just listen to myself more now. Before then, I was being organic with instrumentation and that sort of thing for the sake of being organic, not because it was exactly what I wanted to do. Right. And I've just changed a lot then. Like what I was doing then was a lot truer to who I was than it is now, and that's what I also think that's really important for artists, is to just not be afraid to evolve, because again, I'm still proud of what I did then, and I know that I'll be proud in 5 years, 10 years, 15 years of what I'm doing right now. Right. So.
Now you have your music video that just dropped for the new single. Just dropped today, and it's everywhere. Talk to me about the creative process of this music video, because I feel like you're also involved in the video process of all your music.
Yeah, so sometimes I have a vision for a song and what the graphics are going to look like or what the video is going to look like, and this one I didn't right up front, but I knew I wanted it to be like this kind of blue neon, like dark, kind of messed up looking, just kind of in your face and honest, and not too pretty, because the song's not really pretty. I mean, it's about being frustrated, but also taking control in a frustrating situation, and so I wanted it to kind of have the energy of real life. I don't know, I didn't want it to just be pretty shots of my face singing necessarily. I wanted it to be, I wanted it to look good, and obviously, but I just kind of wanted it to be dirty and a little messy and a little angsty, and that's what it is. But it's also really simple, because I think the song, speaks for itself, and it looks badass. Preston Leatherman did a really great job. Yeah, it looks really cool.
Now, is this a director you've been working with for a while? Is this someone you just started working with?
Our first time working together. Yeah. I just really liked what he does, and he does a lot of really cool stuff with lighting, and he nailed it. And he cares, and he really loves music, which is, huge component. And he got the song, and it's his kind of music too, which helps. So we just had fun. It was a blast. Yeah. We did a shot of gin before we shot the video, and then, it was great.
That's the key.
That is the key. Bombay Sapphire right before. Yeah.
So now that this track is out, everybody's loving it. What are the plans for new music? Are you trying to work on a body of work, or are you trying to do singles at a time?
I'm working on singles right now, just because that's what I think is right for me right now. I have my next song, Honest, is coming out May 3rd, and then I have a song coming out shortly after that, and then it might be I might take a little chunk of time to do some touring and that sort of thing, but I have more stuff ready to come out of the gate after that as well. So it's just how we decide to plan it out. But yeah, I'm gonna do singles for right now, because I like to be able to keep it fresh in my own mind. Not I don't know. For right now, it feels like I want to be able to decide kind of shortly out what I want next. I don't want to have it locked in too far ahead, just because I really want it to feel right. So yeah.
Now, you mentioned touring, so you actually had the opportunity to tour with a lot of big names in the past, or even open up for a lot of big names. Like, in doing so, what did you learn from those big arena performances or those bigger stage performances?
You just learn so much watching the main act. Really, it's an audience. What I learned from that is that an audience really just connects with somebody who you can honestly tell loves what they're doing. They're happy to be there, and that doesn't mean looking perfect or whatever. They're having fun. They're connecting, and they're not afraid to portray however they're feeling to the audience that night, and really try to make a connection, because that's why you're all there,
Right.
you know, to have a good time and to get out of your regular routine for a night. And yeah.
Did those performances kind of play a role in you wanting to transition to version 2?
To version 2? Yeah, I mean, just watching everybody over the years, I felt like, because I've noticed that I connect the most with the people who are just being their authentic selves, and not, you know, I've been to tours where what they're doing is super trendy, or they're trying to look like another artist, and I, you know, no matter how great they sound, if they're doing that, I'm bored. And, you know, it just shows you really quickly what it is that people connect to.
Yeah, true.
And every time it's the people who are thoroughly enjoying themselves. And if they're not, they do something different. They change it up, or you know, if they're heavy-hearted that night, they tell the audience. Or if they're just going through something, they tell the audience. Or if they're having a great day, you know, it just comes through, and they're not afraid to say, "This is the best show on this tour." I mean, I know that's a line sometimes, but you know, you could just whatever you're there to have an experience with them, and that was really obvious to me. So that was when you know, I mean, all this stuff has accumulated to make me want to just be crazy authentic all the time. Yeah, so that's what this version is.